We're here with Hall of Fame coach Carm Cozza, and we want to talk Yale-Harvard history a little bit, about one that doesn't always get brought up that much, but the 1969 team won the Ivy League championship and did so by beating Harvard 7-0. That was 40 years ago.
That's right, Ron. It was a team that actually they're having their reunion here Saturday night, and it was a team that was not expected to do that well because we lost so many outstanding football players. 3 of them were drafted from the offense alone of the team prior to that. But they had played a lot, and there were some good players on this team. And they learned how to win, and like you said, they won that last game 7-0 to give them the championship.
And you don't get asked about that one nearly as much as some other ones, huh?
No. I don't have to talk about that one because we won it. It's that year before when we had that tie that seems to haunt me every year, especially Harvard Week. There's at least 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 different people call me on that game.
We've got Tom Williams in his first year as head coach getting ready for his first Yale-Harvard game. Do you remember when you were in anticipation of your first Yale-Harvard game?
Oh, I really do. It was a hectic week. I always wanted to play away because you get so many calls. Everybody wants to sit on the 50-yard line, and it's one of those deals that if you don't get everything done Sunday and Monday, you're not going to get it done during the week because there's so many calls from former players, from alumni, from the news media. It's just a very hectic week, but it's a great week. It's it's one of the big games of all time, and it is the last game for Yale and Harvard, and it's the last time these young men will be wearing their respective uniforms. And in this game, you really see no regrets. They give it everything they have for the full 60 minutes, but you very seldom see a cheap shot in a game like this. It's really all with heart.
One of the things I've heard and people have said about the game is that things seem to happen faster in the Yale-Harvard game. Is that true? Is that literally true, or does it just seem that way?
Well, you're right. It does seem to happen faster, and you know what? More often than not, the team that scores first wins. Forget that in this game. It seems like almost always a team that didn't score first ends up winning at the end. And most of these games go right down to the wire. They're fairly evenly matched. And this game, like I say, the underclassmen want to send the seniors out with a victory because it is their last ball game. They know they're going to play in front of more people in this game than any game they've played all season, and it's a game that they'll remember the rest of their lives. So there's a great deal of intensity. It's a wonderful setting. I mean, you would hope that every player would have an opportunity to participate in a game like this. I always told them it was a privilege for you to play in a game like this, and a big honor because, like I say, it's a very special game.
And it really has its very special home every other year restored beautifully. And are you going to be proud on Saturday when the teams go out of the tunnel? And the Kennedy Center has been dedicated, and the Jensen Family Plaza with all the names is in its all glory.
This is what it's all about. And when Tom Beckett asked me to sort of spearhead the fundraising for the renovation of the bowl back in '99, and he said, we'll put all the players' names out there. And I said, wow, this is great. And we knew we needed to refurbish the bowl. There was some talk about tearing it down, and no one wanted that because it's made a national landmark and it's a historic bowl, and you'd never replace a bowl like this. But they've done such a magnificent job with it, and it's really great to see everything completed now for the game. And like I say, this is a game that everyone is going to want to be a part of.
Well, we've talked about the building, and like religion, a church is not a building; it's the people. And the Yale football alums are really a very special group that will make this what it is. And I know you've always enjoyed every year the alums coming back, and it really is a special group.
It is, and we reminisce about the good old times, and they remind me of some of the special plays we had in this game, and we always seem to come up with a wrinkle that they hadn't seen before, and we did it for a couple of reasons. Number one, the players were expecting it, the alumni were expecting it, and we thought if we could build off of something we're doing, maybe we could catch Harvard off guard, and we've had our share of success with it, and of course they return the favor at times as well.
I know you're proud also that what the alums have gone on to do outside of football and outside of the athletic arena.
Exactly right. My wife and I talk about it a lot, Ron. It's just amazing to see all these young men be so successful. I used to say I was the best pre-med, pre-law coach in the country, but now I might even say pre-Wall Street, because we've got them all over the place. And, they learn so many lessons on the football field. And there's something more than teamwork. It's the dedication, the commitment, how to handle adversity. And, I've had the players tell me from time to time the effect, and they thank me for it, but what they don't know is what they've done for me. These players do something for a coach that is very special.
And they really take care of each other now that they've graduated, and stay in touch and really are there for each other.
You're right. Yeah, I say sadly that we've lost 37 of our former football players, and to each team, they immediately contact that family to see what they can do to help, whether it is educate their youngsters or whatever it might be. And it's a close-knit group, and something that I know they're proud of, and I'm very proud of.
When you came to Yale, you were an assistant coach for 2 years, and then you became the head coach, and it was your first head coaching job. And you ended up staying for your entire head coaching career here at Yale. Why'd you choose to do that?
Well, you know what? I was very fortunate to be able to raise a family with my wife and not have to move. Coaches very seldom stay in the same place. I'll tell you, the reason I did it is because I had the privilege of coaching some of the finest young men on this planet. They all had a thirst for knowledge. I never had to worry about them going to class or what they had to do. And they all played with a lot of heart. Sometimes we had a little better personnel than others. Sometimes we were luckier to stay healthy than other years. But I wouldn't have traded any one of the years that I had coaching here. 1 year I was appointed the athletic director, and I enjoyed it. But when it came time to give up the coaching, I really couldn't do it. Maybe had we not won a championship, I might have felt differently. I don't know. But I've never regretted that. I've always enjoyed coaching these young men. And like I said, it's been a two-way thing. They've done as much for me as I've done for them.
All right, and I guess the last question, you're now in your 12th season, finishing it up as the color commentator on the radio. So you've been up on the team, and what are your thoughts as you head into this 2009 Yale-Harvard game?
Well, this league is always really balanced, Ron, and anything can happen on a given Saturday. Last week, as you know, Princeton probably played their best game of the year against Yale. They hadn't been playing that well. Yale can beat Harvard. It's not going to be easy. It's going to probably be going right down to the wire like most of them do. But, these young men, like I say, will have an opportunity, especially the seniors, to do something very special. And in Tom Williams' first year, if they can beat Harvard, it would really be a feather in their cap. And incidentally, I enjoyed working with you all these years. It's been great.
All right, and here's to many more on that front. That's Yale's Hall of Fame coach, Carm Cozza.